Becoming someone new does not start with motivation. It starts with identity. Most people try to change their life by changing their goals. But goals are temporary. Identity is permanent. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your standards. And your standards are shaped by who you believe you are. Right now, whether you realize it or not, you are living inside a self-image. A silent story that says, "This is who I am. This is what I deserve. This is what I'm capable of." If your life feels stuck, it is not because you lack effort. It is because your identity has not evolved. Personal development is not about adding more to your life. It is about becoming more. Let's go deeper. Most people are trying to improve their habits. Wake up earlier, eat healthier, be more productive. But habits that don't match your identity will always fade. If you see yourself as lazy, you will sabotage discipline. If you see yourself as unlucky, you will ignore opportunities. If you see yourself as not confident, you will shrink in moments that require courage. The real question is not, what do I want to achieve? The real question is, who do I need to become? Because once identity shifts, behavior follows naturally. Think about it. A person who identifies as healthy doesn't force themselves to exercise. They move because that's who they are. A person who identifies as disciplined doesn't fight distractions every second. They act in alignment with their standard. Personal development begins with the decision. I am no longer available for the old version of myself. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Growth feels like loss. When you outgrow old habits, you may outgrow old friends. When you raise your standards, you may lose approval. When you choose self-respect, you may disappoint people who benefited from your insecurity. That is why many people stay the same. Not because they can't grow, but because growth costs comfort. You cannot become your future self while protecting your current identity. You must let parts of you die. The overthinking version, the procrastinating version, the approval-seeking version. And that feels uncomfortable. But discomfort is not danger. It is transformation. Let's talk about clarity. Many people say, I don't know what I want in life. But often they do know. They just don't trust themselves enough to admit it. Personal development requires radical honesty. Ask yourself, what kind of life would make me proud? What kind of person do I admire? Where am I settling? What am I tolerating that no longer aligns with who I want to become? Awareness is the first shift. You cannot change what you refuse to see. And once you see clearly, you cannot unsee it. Now comes responsibility. You are not responsible for your past, but you are responsible for your patterns. Blaming your childhood, your environment, your circumstances may explain your behavior, but it will not elevate your future. Power begins when excuses end. This does not mean life is fair. It means you choose to stop waiting. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for support. Stop waiting for perfect timing. Your future self is built in imperfect moments, not when everything feels aligned, but when you act despite resistance. Personal development is boring. It is not dramatic. It is not loud. It is small decisions repeated daily. Reading instead of scrolling. Saving instead of spending. Speaking truth instead of staying silent. Going to bed on time instead of chasing distraction. The world celebrates overnight success, but identity transformation is quiet. No one sees the discipline. No one applauds the boundaries. No one notices the self-control until the results appear. And by then, it looks effortless. Let's talk about self-respect. Self-respect is not confidence. It is not arrogance. It is not superiority. Self-respect is keeping promises to yourself. Every time you say you'll wake up early and you don't, you weaken trust with yourself. Every time you say you'll start tomorrow, You train your brain to delay growth, but every small promise kept builds inner strength. You begin to trust your word, and when you trust yourself, your energy changes. You stop begging for validation. You stop chasing approval. You stop shrinking to fit, because you know who you are becoming. Personal development is not about being perfect. It is about being intentional. You will fail. You will slip. You will have days where you fall back into old habits. But the difference now is awareness. Old you would quit. New you adjusts. That is growth. Another powerful shift. Stop asking, "How do I feel?" Start asking, "What does my future self do?" Feelings are temporary. Identity is directional. Your future self wakes up even when tired. Your future self trains even when unmotivated. Your future self speaks calmly, even when triggered. Not because it's easy, but because it's aligned. Alignment creates power. The moment your actions match your values, your confidence grows naturally. You don't need affirmations when your behavior proves your commitment. Now let's talk about environment. You cannot develop in the same environment that rewards your old behavior. If you surround yourself with negativity, growth feels lonely. If you stay in places that normalize mediocrity, excellence feels extreme. Sometimes personal development requires distance. Distance from noise. Distance from comparison. Distance from people who only know the old you. It's not about arrogance. It's about protection. You are protecting your next level. And finally, understand this. There is no final version of you. Personal development is not a destination. It is a daily practice. You are not behind. You are not late. You are evolving. Some seasons are about learning. Some are about healing. Some are about building. Trust the season you're in, but don't stay stuck there. Every day, ask yourself one question. What is one small action that aligns with who I want to become? Not 10 actions, not a complete life overhaul, just one. One aligned decision daily creates a powerful identity shift over time. 5 years from now, you will either thank yourself or wish you had started today. The choice is quiet. No one is forcing you, but your future is watching. Become the person your future is waiting for. Not through motivation, not through inspiration, but through identity, discipline, and self-respect. This is personal development. This is Mind Shift Daily.